Test, test, one, two, three. What's going on, team? Welcome to our live trading session. My name is Ricky. I hope that you learned something new, and I'm going to start sharing my screen so you can see exactly what it is that I'm looking at. Here we go. So we got SQQQ took a position during the pre-market session. Looks like right now we are indicating slight signs of an uptrend, but I would not recommend this for anyone that is watching as of right now. We are barely trading above the moving average on TQQQ, but what that means for SQQQ is that we are trading below the moving average. So anytime that direction is against you, it makes it a little bit more challenging because it tends to make lower highs and lower lows. Overall, this is a stock that is selling off right now in comparison to something like QQQ, where although it is pulling on back, it has been making higher highs and higher lows, which is more attractive because direction is then in your favor. I knew it was a riskier trade. I decided to take it, which is why I'm managing my risk a little bit more carefully, as there's been a little bit more volatility during that pre-market session. For those that are unaware, Jerome Powell is going to be speaking today, 30 minutes after the market opens. So that's why I went live just 1 or 2 minutes before. Right before that live stream of Jerome Powell, I'm actually going to close out this free live session. And here it goes. I'm going to close out this free live and then just start it up and do it for the Jerome Powell live stream. So it's going to be the same live stream. I just have to close this one and then start the new one when he actually begins to speak. So let's go ahead and get this started. So what's up? What's up? How are we all doing? I appreciate all of you guys dropping a thumbs up. Really do appreciate it. So let's see what we got going on here. There we go. So it looks like SQQQ is still trying to indicate signs of an uptrend, but it looks like it's still getting rejected. I would not be surprised if this thing begins to pull back and break below. So let's please be aware of that. All right. Here we go. We're getting some higher highs. All righty. See if we could actually break above. So I'm going to add 200 shares to my position. One of the things that you guys should be aware of is I trade with a little bit more than I would say the average trader. Please do not look at how much it is that I'm buying. It's all relative to my position size and how it is that I average up, right? Someone might be trading with $1,000. Someone might be trading with $100,000. When someone buys $10,000, that might seem like a lot, but if you're trading with $100,000, that's a 10% position size, right? So it's all relative to what it is that you're trading with. I just want to make sure that you understand that as you begin to see other traders maybe trading with more money. You should never feel encouraged to trade with more money than you're comfortable with. I think that if you're an absolute beginner, one of the best suggestions I can give you is that trade with as little as money as possible, but enough for you to take it seriously. Just keep that balance. You're not here to prove yourself to anyone. You're here to prove yourself to, you. That's all. That's all that matters. You lock in profits because it makes sense to you. You cut losses because it makes sense to you. You enter a position because it makes sense to you. What you do does not need to make sense to me. It does not need to make sense to other people that are super opinionated about what they think that you should do with your money. I think that I learn best by learning from my mistakes, and mistakes will be made, which is why we try to encourage you to trade with as little as money as possible. Because why would you trade and learn how to do something with a lot of money? I don't care if you have $10,000, $50,000, or $100,000 to blow. It's just careless. It's very naive to think that I'm going to learn how to do something and I'm going to make money right away. We have Pascal here, and he was one of our staycation winners. Pascal's been trading for like over 10 years. But one of the great things that Pascal shared is, I think a big goal for even your first year of trading is even to break even. That would be a huge milestone because most people tend to lose money because they're always so obsessive about trying to make money, right? But if you focus on the learning part, if you understand that your goal is just to break even you're within your first year, think about it. There might be a handful of you that might not even want to do it anymore, right? Like, why would I want to work towards being break even? It's not that you'll end up break even. You might end up a little bit in the red. You might end up a little bit in the green. But the idea with that is that it's expectations, right? Your expectation is set at a standard that's more realistic, but that's still better than the average person. And I think that's super important for you to understand. It might discourage some of you who are like, oh no, I need something to make me money right now. And at the end of the day, if that's the case, then, you're probably just putting yourself in a more tough situation, right? So we got BBBY. Looks like it's gapping up. I'm going to short this one very, very quickly. Let's see. So, all right. I love shorting this bad boy. I like when it becomes overbought. I like to look at pre-market highs. It's not that it can't continue to uptrend. It's just that when it does begin to sell off, it tends to, not always, right? Patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't always have to. But when it begins to pull on back, it tends to pull on back pretty hard. So some of the popular people that we know trading have blown their account when they first started. Of course, right? It's part of it, right? No one in life knows or does well knowing everything, right? We all start knowing nothing. Some people might start just based off of their lifestyle and who they know. They might start off just, they're conditioned a little bit better. At the end of the day, we all begin knowing nothing. It's not about how you start, it's about how you end. It's super cliche, but it's the truth, right? It's the idea of, you can either take time to learn how to do something, or you'll continue to make the same mistake over and over again and never learn from it, right? I think it's the definition of insanity when you do something over and over again and expect a different result. If you continue to not manage your risk, but you expect to make money, it's like, that's insane. That's literally insane, right? It doesn't matter how good you might be at entering a trade and selling a trade when it comes out in the green, but if you don't know how to manage your risk, you're not going to be very well, you're not going to do very well in this market, because we all know that it takes one solid red day to wipe out a week's worth or a month's worth of green days. So let's make sure that we're aware of that. So we're shooting up here. All right. So this is why we watch our position size. One of the things that you'll see is that even when this is a good example, but this thing is gapping up right now. First off, this is a meme stock. Anything can happen. This thing can shoot up to $200 to $20 a share, right? Anything can happen with these meme stocks. My goal with this meme stocks is anytime that I enter a position, right, I'm trying to short this, meaning that I'm trying to make money as this stock sells off. With that being said, I know that this thing can continue to rally. So my first position that I took, if you guys saw, I bought 200 shares. 200 shares in comparison to how I trade is about $2,000 if I'm not mistaken. That is a fraction of what I trade with. So I'm managing my position size on a risky trade, right? So here it goes. We'll go in with another 200 shares. So now I'm in with 400 shares, which is equivalent to around $4,400. The idea is anytime that I see an opportunity, I should never be scared of taking advantage of an opportunity, regardless of how risky it is, right? So like, let's say there's an opportunity that's super, super risky. All that means is that I have to make sure that I watch my position size. If I buy one share of that very risky play, yeah, there's still some risk in there, but by taking such a minute position size, I'm not really putting myself in a position that I can't tolerate. And that's the same thing with this, is I'm choosing to short something that is still looking somewhat bullish. It is looking overbought. I see potential for it to drop, but I know that it's not actively dropping, which is why I'm taking a much smaller position size right now, right? If this thing begins to proactively drop, then that's when I can step on the gas and add more to my short position. But as we can see, this thing is still gapping up, and you might be like, oh my God, Rick, like this is scary. This thing is still gapping up. First off, if you're an absolute beginner, in my opinion, you should not be shorting anything. It's too risky. I don't think that it's a good approach for beginners. The thing that I love about this is that by allowing this thing to gap up, do you guys see how much it's up right now? I want this thing to gap up to $12 to $13 because the more it makes, we all know Bed Bath & Beyond is a meme stock, right? It's a stock that will not hold at those levels. And I think that's very important to remind yourself, because when it does begin to sell off, then that's when we can choose to take action, right? That's when we can choose to short the stock, knowing that you can go long on it. I mean, you can make money as it's going up right now, right? So for all those that want to go long on it, all power to you. Let it rip. Once it begins to trade sideways, once it begins to show signs of a resistance, that's when I love to attack and make money as the stock sells off. Because again, I make money as this thing pulls back. So the more that it gaps up, especially with a lighter position, the more money I could potentially make. So I'm going to go ahead and add. That was a big pullback already. I'm going to give it some time. All right. Do you need to have 1M in your account to short in the US? No. You don't have to have $1 million you don't have to have $1 million to do anything. And no, you have to have over $2,000, I believe, and you have to have a margin account. That's all. It's nothing crazy. But first off, again, I cannot stress this enough. I'm not like other traders on YouTube that encourage you to copy their trades. I will never encourage you to copy what it is that I do. I know that I make mistakes, but I manage my own risk, right? Do not copy what it is that I'm doing. If you're an absolute beginner and you suck at risk management, I'm trying to, be as realistic as possible. If you are not the best at managing your risk, please do not short something that you are not prepared for by any means, right? Like, I'd rather you go long on something and then just focus on locking in profits rather than shorting something. So here it goes. We have that same resistance level here on SQQQ. We talked about it right when the market opened, right? We were indicating signs of an uptrend. We have 20 minutes left until Jerome Powell speaks. That's going to be at 10 a.m. Eastern time. For those that are unaware, that's 30 minutes after the market opens. As the market opens in the East Coast, right around, at 9:30, not right around. That's actually where it opens at. But yeah, very important to understand. All right. So are you expecting to trade sideways until 10? I expect there to be a lot of volatility. So there can be quick shifts of direction. It's very important to understand. So much respect for what you're doing these live. Best wishes to all. I appreciate it. Thank you again for your time. Who is it? I can't see. But, yep. All right. Here it goes. Ooh. All right. Goes. Let's see. It's looking good. Adding a little bit more, right? Direction's in my favor. So direction's in my favor. Momentum's in my favor. We'll see if it pulls on back. But again, no trade is ever going to be perfect. This thing can pull on back, get me to add more to my short, and then it can quickly recover, which is why, again, there's no such thing as a perfect trader. There's no such thing as a perfect trade. Your job is not to be perfect. Your job is to take calculated risk, right? To understand when direction is in your favor, to understand overbought levels, to understand when then, you have confirmation, when it makes sense to step on the gas, and then to never be afraid to lock in profits. One of the things that our Learn Plan Profit team will see very often is that, every time that I short BBBY, I sell early almost every single time. I was shorting BBBY right before it dropped an additional 18%. It was all caught in one of our live streams. It's actually public on YouTube. And I missed out on an 18% run, but I still made 8.2K in about, 1 or 2 hours of shorting BBBY. I mean, how ungrateful would I be to be like, oh man, I wish I would have made more. I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, everyone wishes they could make more, but I saw there to be a reason on why I wanted to cover my short. And I think that's what's most important is our job is to take action when we begin to see a change of direction. And regardless of what happens after, we can always revisit and see what we could have done better. Maybe I could have followed with a trailing stop loss. Maybe I could have just followed with a stop loss to manage, but I'm shorting it, right? So I would have to follow with like a buy limit or something like that. But I just didn't view it to be worth the risk. I felt it to be a little bit too risky in that sense. And that is why I decided to, cover my short. But it looks like it's showing signs of a support level here for BBBY. So let's see if we're going to add to it. So I'm going to reduce. Let's see if we can see some lower lows. I want to see some lower lows here before I add more to my short. If we actually break below previous support, that would be, an indication that we might drop a little bit more. So will you be live streaming the Powell speech? I will be live streaming it. So in about 10 minutes, I will close out this live stream and I'm just going to retitle it and put a new thumbnail. That's all that's going to change. So make sure that if you're watching this live session, first drop a thumbs up, make sure that you subscribe, and that little bell is the post notification. So if you want to, I'm going to continue to trade just like this, but I just need to close this out and then change the thumbnail and change the cover picture because I don't think it lets me do it in real time. So please just make sure that you subscribe. And then you should get alerted when it is that I go live. But I really do appreciate you guys taking time and joining me this morning. So I know it's not easy to wake up this early. Let's see what we got going on. So we're retesting this resistance once again. Have you talked about the risk of shorting? Of course. What the heck? So why are you literally the whole purpose of what I just talked about was talking about the risk on why I don't think beginners should ever short. Solars of Astora, whatever your username is, it sounds like you're just offended that I'm shorting BBBY. Which again, my job, watch any of my videos. I will never encourage anyone to do anything. All I ever encourage my viewers to do is to look out for themselves, to never be afraid to lock in profits, and to manage risk. The only thing you will ever hear me tell them to do, what they should consider to do. And even then, I'm just like, if you want to continue to hold, you're an adult, you do you, right? But it's so important for everyone to know that I'm never here to tell you what to do. I know I'm not perfect, but I know where a lot of mistakes are made, right? No risk management, position size, and then making sure that you look out for yourself. I don't care what other people are telling you that you should do with your money, what stock they're telling you that you should buy and hold for the movement. I think that's all BS. I think it's always best to look at for yourself. You started to trade in the stock market to make money. So focus on making money for yourself, not for other people, right? Simple. It's very simple. There it goes. Love to see it. All right. And I'm not even going to add to it. I'm just going to leave it at where it's at. I'm going to allow it to sell off. So I have 1,000 shares. I'm shorting it. So very realistic position. It's what? $11,000, $12,000 position size. Shorting BBBY. I could go in a little bit heavier. Right? I mean, I could go in with 50,000, I can go in with 100,000. But one of the things that I love to remind our traders is that, the lighter that you keep the position, the less emotional you are. You're just focused on the trade. You're focused on what's important. And especially for everyone watching, I just want to try to lead by example. It doesn't even mean that this trade's going to go according to plan. But it's just a reminder that you don't always have to have the most money invested in a trade to always try to maximize every trade. Of course, that would be the goal later down the road when you're, trading with, when you understand what it is that you're doing. But I think it's super important to understand. So, also, this is a great reminder. We have a fake Ricky account in the chat, and it's telling you to message me on WhatsApp. Just so you guys know, I do not have a WhatsApp. I will never I will never message you first. If the account looks a little spammy, it probably is. I have one YouTube account and it's verified. I have one Instagram account and it's verified. I have one Twitter account and I only follow one account. The other fake Twitter accounts follow thousands of people and they will message you first. So please do yourself a favor. Anytime that you receive a message from me, if you didn't initiate it, it's a fake account. I can promise you that. So any WhatsApp or anything like that, I can guarantee you, I don't even have a WhatsApp. They will tell you about a Forex fund. They will tell you about a crypto fund. It is all BS. They will try to reach out to you via Facebook, via email. I do not manage money for other people. I will never trade for you. I will never ask you for money. Never, 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 never. Alrighty? We got that cleared up? Okay. All right. Ricky, it's awesome meeting you yesterday. I am incredibly impressed by you. Keep up the good work. And thank you for your willingness to continue to share your trading experience. I appreciate that, Chris. It's great meeting you as well. Yeah, for everyone that came to our TechBuds HQ, I know a lot of people say it and stuff like that, but I really, and you guys taking time and watching me live, means a lot, right? You wake up, you could be sleeping in right now, but for everyone that took time yesterday to visit our HQ in Chandler, Arizona, it really does mean a lot to myself. It means a lot to our team that you would take time and visit us and tour our facility. So yeah, anytime that you guys want to visit, we're located in Chandler, Arizona. For those that are unaware, it's free and it's open to any of our Learn Plan Profit members. So it's just one added value. So 1721 North Arizona Avenue. Even if you're not an LPP member just yet, but you want to get a tour and you're in the area, just shoot me a message. Shoot me a message on Discord. Send me a message via Instagram. All the links are in the description of this video. And just tell me hey, Ricky, I would love to visit. I'm not an LPP member yet, but I just want to get a tour or maybe just work there for a little bit. Dude, I don't care. Message me. I'll let you use the space Monday through Friday. It's when we're open. So yeah, the speech is in 9 minutes. So we got to make sure that we're aware of that. And look at that. Showing signs of a support here. So please be very, very careful. If I was short, if I was an absolute beginner, I would be okay with covering my short here. The only reason I'm not is because my position size is so small that it's not that I don't care about the position. It's just that I'm okay with holding out for a little bit longer. So would you guys ever do in-person courses? No, I just, and respectfully, Eric, I do appreciate you wanting me to do that. As of right now, with everything that I have going on, I have a daughter, I trade live and I work with my LPP team. And then on top of that, with the different things that we have going on, if the house flips, the content creation, our store and stuff like that, and even just my family, right? I have very limited amount of time throughout the day that as of right now, it just doesn't seem very practical for me to do anything in person like that. We host events at the HQ, maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe once every 3 weeks. And I like to sprinkle them in like that. But yeah, I like to I wouldn't like to commit to something that is on a consistent weekly basis or almost daily basis because I know I'm not going to be able to deliver in that sense. So I just want to set realistic expectations. And I hope you understand that. Alrighty, so we have 7 minutes left until that report. So how many people do we have here? So we have about 3,000 of you here. We have only 500 likes. I thought we would have had more likes. Friendly reminder, even before we close out this live stream. So again, I'm gonna restart a new live stream right after this, and it's going to be for Jerome Powell's speech. So just make sure you drop a thumbs up on this video. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. And friendly reminder, I know a lot of you guys, I messaged a couple of you guys on Instagram that were asking for a discount. Today we are running our biggest sale that we offer. It's $150 off LPP 2.0. So you get access to these daily live trading sessions every single day. You'll get access to our A to Z video lesson library. You'll get access to our HQ. You get access to everything, our private group chat. It's all inclusive. It's a one-time payment. It's lifetime access. And right now it's $150 off, which is our biggest discount that we offer. And it's the second link in the description of this video. So if you see it, feel free to click on it if you've been waiting for a big discount to join our group. And I will actually post the link in the live chat as well. So right before I close it out, here we go. I'm going to pin it to the top. So if you've been waiting for our big discount, if you've been waiting to sign up, if you like these live trading sessions, we host them every single day right at market open, Monday through Friday. Anytime the market's open, I'm live. So if you would like to experience this, reminder, I don't offer anything else. It's all inclusive. It's all of this, right? So for you to be able to see A to Z video lesson library, daily live trading, daily group chat, and access to the HQ. It's all inclusive, just so you guys are aware. And there it goes. Big drop. I'm ready to short it. One of the things that you guys should be aware of as well is that if you only focus on day trading, meaning shorting something, there's no borrow fee, right? If you buy it and sell it, or you short it and cover it within the same date, right? The same day, it doesn't matter if it's pre-market, normal market, or aftermarket, but if you cover your short, you pay nothing in borrow fees. I just want to make sure that you're aware of that, because sometimes some people get a little scared of like, oh my God, the borrow fee is 50%, the borrow fee is 100%. I just focus on day trading and shorting these, right? So with that, there's no borrow fees, just like with a margin account. If you don't carry it over for a day, there's no borrow fee or leverage fee on that. So, all right, I'm going to close out this live, and in 4 minutes, I will be live for Jerome Powell's speech. So make sure you drop a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you turn on your post notifications. The link is down in the description if you want to use the $150 off discount. And if you have any questions, the first link down below, feel free to send me a message via Discord. So give me 2 minutes and I'll restart this live stream. So I will be going live for that speech. I'm just going to retitle this and change the thumbnail.